Yes, with Tamika and Marissa. This week we're going to talk about mental health check-ins, alleged sexual assault, is you okay? Just everything that's going on in the world. Tamika, how you doing?
All right, my cough is just will not go away. I bought some cough. I buy these cough suppressants.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the doctor next week for my regular annual, but I usually buy these cough suppressants, and then I went to go take it, and I saw that it said for people with high blood pressure. So I was like, okay, so these are the wrong ones.
Are those the ones you've been getting this whole time?
No, it's a different. They didn't have the ones I usually get, so I was like, oh, let me try these. And I didn't
Not
realize.
And it's crazy too because the weather is like it's really really hot. I don't think it's record setting heat, but like apparently the Sahara desert is like spewing across America and the Caribbean. Jesus.
But
Yeah.
we in New York at least we need rain because it's been pretty dry. You can see people's grasses are turning brown. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
but
today, is it raining by you yet?
it's drizzling. It's nothing, crazy.
How have you? I want to do a quick little like mental health check-in, because like there's so many things going on in the world, and it's so hard to like I can't even like talk about like mundane things because there's life-changing dramatic issues happening. And it's like when I talk about like, oh, I didn't just dried my hair and then it started to drizzle, now it's all frizzy, I feel so like shut up, Marissa, just ain't gonna work. How do you feel? How are you like right now?
It's like weird that you say that because like I'm in a moment in these last few months, really since right before Corona started. Because as we know, not that it was announced, but it was like getting real deep, like right around my birthday. And then my birthday is the day that Governor Cuomo shut New York down on my exact birthday. So
Yeah.
I didn't go out to dinner. And so right around that time, and prior to that, I was planning my mother's party, so I was stressed out. And so I just feel like I have nobody to talk to. Everybody that I talk to always tells me like, I don't want to be a burden to my mother, even though I know she would be okay with that. But like when I
Right.
talk to her, she sounds sad because, she has family down there, but they're not checking for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I have my family here, but my family, like, them, they're not very emotional. Let's just kumbaya and share. It's all like, you look like you put on weight. Let you gain, so, it's nothing like, how are you feeling? You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
I have friends and stuff. Like one of my friends texted me today to see how I was doing, which is nice. But it's just, a text here and there. It's nice in the moment. But, sometimes you want to hug somebody and be like, and be told that you're going to be okay. You matter. I care about you. I love you. And
And the
I
thing is,
can't
it's
remember
like
the
you can't.
last time that's happened to me.
And that's what's crazy too. On top of like this coronavirus, you can't be touching nobody. You can't even go out to like uh to like sit and eat and like like process your feelings. There's so many things that's like I've been having. You're gonna have to pardon me. I have been watching a lot of my Spanish telenovelas, and my English has has gotten really bad.
Mhm.
I'm like using words but like saying it in English, and I'm having a hard time talking today. Um um I was gonna say to placate, but platicar in is like conversate in Spanish. I was gonna say it's hard to placate. I've been doing that. I don't even know for how long, but I've been like, my English is real bad lately. So sorry,
So good.
sorry to that language. Um, um, it's crazy how much you need, um and you don't even realize it. Like you said, like just a simple hug.
What
Like,
about you?
um last time we did this, I said I was okay. Like I'm okay. I'm okay. But I do have mental health needs. I do need to it's so hard. It's hard to like um describe without sounding like very needy, and then I get into that whole hole of like um uh of like I don't want to be self-absorbed. Like yesterday I was you know how like when my fruit is starting to turn, I throw it on the side of my house. I have like this little like thicket of like overgrow, and I throw all my stuff there. I have a lot of like raccoons and possums and all this stuff that come around and they eat it all.
Mm-hmm.
Birds, squirrels, whatever's. So I throw all my produce there. And when I was outside throwing, my backyard neighbor, I don't know if it was one or two houses down, was having a party, and I could hear them laughing and I could smell barbecue. And like, I sat there for a second and I was like,
You wish you were invited?
well, don't you just want to be at a barbecue right now, like laughing with somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I was at my dad's last week and it was a nice barbecue, but it's like, you know, it's not a barbecue. I mean, he cooked out
Hmm.
the steaks we
Tell me.
let me no, let me finish with what you're saying. I don't want to take over.
No, no, go ahead.
So for Father's Day, I gave him like 4 different types of steak,
Oh my Lord. I know he, mm-hmm.
and I brought over fish. So I was like, look, Dad, I know it's Father's Day, but I'm gonna need you to do what you do best. Fry this fish, cook these steaks.
What did he
And
say?
I got him oxtails, which I don't eat oxtails, but that's like one of his favorite things.
Yeah.
Like, Black people love oxtails, but I don't
So
know.
do Spanish people.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, so I brought him over there. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna need you to make the recipe for the skirt steak. And skirt steak is my favorite steak. Okay. So he pulled up a recipe on his phone. I'm mixing the ingredients. When I tell you it's the best skirt steak I've ever had in my entire life, he put it on the
What'd
grill.
you put in it?
It was like cumin. It was uh shit. I can't think of anything.
As soon
Uh,
as you said cumin, do you remember Real Housewives of New Jersey when they were doing it? This is like 1,000 episodes ago when homegirl Teresa was shooting for her cookbook, and she was talking to them. She's like, I use real ingredients. Real ingredients. Like, who uses cumin? You know cumin? Who uses cumin? And they're just looking at her like, I don't know why that stuck with me, but as soon as you said cumin, I just heard it. Teresa's like, I use real ingredients.
and that right there sums up Teresa. That is Teresa. But just a whole bunch of different spices, ginger,
Yeah.
thyme, whole
Ooh.
bunch. But it's a whole bunch of like dry spices.
Like a dry rub?
Yeah, like a dry rub. But
Ugh.
so it's 2 different things. You're making that, and then you're making the wet rub,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put them all together in one bowl, and you marinate the steak on both sides and let it sit there for 30 minutes, and then you put it on the grill. When I tell you, and then my dad, everything with him and his wife is like a presentation. Rest in peace to your aunt. No, not your aunt is still alive. The other aunt, who also does the presentation thing. They
Presentation.
both
Yeah.
are like presentation-y, but one is
Yeah.
more so than the other. But anyway, so he cut up the steaks, and he also did, like, I had a ribeye, a T-bone, like, just a whole bunch of different steaks, and he did one at a time. And so then he would cut them up and put some, what do you call the things? Toothpicks in the little pieces. And then we were all sitting around outside, and he had like little sauce, steak one.
Stop.
It was like a whole thing. So everybody's barbecue ain't the kind of barbecue I want to go. That's the kind I like, just laid back,
Yeah.
outside,
Yeah.
chit
Mm-hmm.
chatting, and we had drinks. We were talking about ancestry, you know,
Oh.
so it was good. But I understand what you mean, because when I'm at home and I smell barbecue and I see people well, it depends on the people. Like, I'm not trying to go to everybody. There's only certain people that you're like, damn, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
Worse is like on social media. You see somebody like in your family or a friend had a bar, and you see other people that are
Yeah.
there.
That I have unfollowed and unfriended so many people, not just because of that, but because of like the political saturation, the hatred, the I'm an animal and I'm a sheep and all these things that like
That's what
I've
they
had
call
to
you?
yeah.
They call
Um
you that?
Yeah. Yep.
See, we should have had a show about people in our family calling us out, but back to mental health.
No, 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 not people in my family. These
Oh,
are social media friends.
okay.
Um, but yeah, but there was like a few like cookouts because now my algorithm's messed up. So like there was a few cookouts and barbecues because there is a difference between a cookout and a barbecue. And I was like, ah, I wouldn't mind, but here I am.
I don't know why you don't have one. You have a nice yard. People can see the beautiful trees behind you.
I so okay. Again, mental health check-in. My anxiety and my awkwardness has been an all-time high, where literally I'll go to bed and I'm like, nobody's checking for me because I'm weird. They don't like me. You know, I say things weird. Like my brain has been so poisoned lately that I can't, like, to people, like to socialize and to people, I'm like no good right now.
You got to start small. You have me and Missy over.
Yeah.
That's a small, just two friends
It's so
over.
funny. Listen to this. So my dude bought a barbecue and it just got
Really?
delivered today. Yeah, it just got delivered today.
I can't even see him barbecuing.
No, I don't, yeah, right?
Have you
I
ever
don't
seen
know.
him barbecue?
Never. We've never had a barbecue.
No, but I mean at other people's house. There's certain guys that like they go even to the relative. Like my uncle's one of those guys. Goes to somebody else's house and now he's barbecuing.
Never, 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 never. But now we have a barbecue, but it's not hooked up. We have a natural gas line that's got to get hooked up. But
Well, as soon as he hooks it up,
yeah.
and I'm not trying to come over with all your family and friends there, but just like
No, it's just going to be you, me, Missy.
yeah, that's
I'll
what I'm saying.
I'll make some good ass food. We'll have some laughs. I've been like really oh, and like one of my kids' friends, or like, like their class group, there were a few pictures. They went to like, they all got together and it seemed like it, as I looked at the photo, it felt like everybody in the world was included except for me and my kids.
Right.
And then that whole like nobody likes you sort of like thing that sits
Yeah.
there, like nobody likes you, nobody's checking for you, you're very forgettable, people
One
don't
one
think
thing
about
I
you.
one thing I've learned over the past couple of years, I mean,
Mhm.
I haven't really followed this belief in the last few months, but I do know it's something that I need to get back to as I'm about to speak about it. But when you start to feel down,
Uh-huh.
that's when you reach out to people. When you start to
Yeah.
feel that you're not needed, because
Yeah.
that might be something where you're conjuring up the thoughts of somebody else too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I even think about like our friendship. It's weird that, even though I know you like touched on this in yesterday about what today's show was going to be about, I was thinking to myself about, this is years and years ago, even before you had kids and husband and everything. And I remember, you remember how emotional I used to cry and be upset. I was an emotional wreck for years. You don't believe that? Why are you making a
No,
face?
I'm listening, I believe it. I was
You
there.
were there for, yeah, like you're like, I believe it. Like, yeah,
I
you
was
should
there.
you was there. I would cry. I would call my mother and cry, and she'd be like, "You scaring me." Like, don't, it was like to
Yeah.
the point where I just couldn't, I was like hyperventilate and cry. And I remember one time we were going to Hawaii. We're at your apartment and you were leaving. And it's not like you were like abandoning me, but I just felt abandoned.
That's what you felt, right? Yeah.
Because we at that time we were hanging out like hard, because I think it might have been like the summer or something where we just had nothing else better to do, so we were like hanging out all the time, crazy, like just going to the bars, going to the club, whatever. And then you were like, I'm going to see my brother in Hawaii, and I was like, oh. And then all of a sudden I couldn't stop crying.
I
And
remember
then I
that.
remember you took me to your aunt's house and I'm crying
Yeah.
on
I
my
didn't
cousin.
know what to do
I'm
because
crying on my
you
cousin's
scared
lap. I mean,
me.
on your cousin's lap. And
Yeah.
so I'm thinking about it today. I'm like, why would she take me to her family's house?
Because I didn't know what to do.
I know.
I had
It just,
seen you. I had seen you like upset and processing your feelings, but that moment was a moment that I had never experienced. It was very deep. It was very, very deep that I felt
but
it, and I
so
didn't know
so
what.
so when I'm thinking about that, shoot to like now I don't have those moments anymore. But one of the things that has helped me get out of those moments is to meet that moment before it gets to that point?
I'm wondering because so as I've aged, as I've aged, because I think when we first met, it was very like I didn't process any of my feelings. It was very very like almost cold, maybe we could say.
Hmm.
I don't know what the word is, but I wasn't very emotional when we first met. And I wasn't very like um I'm very like social and outgoing, yeah, but also not. Um, and I think now as I've gotten older, I think things have. I don't know what is happening. I don't know why I have so many feelings. I don't know why I'm so emotional. But it has gotten like I don't know, but it's like my brain. I don't know if I've been at this point before, but it's literally my brain will be like let's say like I'll grab the phone to text you quick. Um, I have this thing like I can't stand being on the phone because for some reason everyone that lives in my household wants to talk to me as soon as I have the phone to me.
Hmm.
So I text a lot more, which I don't like either. It's very cold, but be that as it may, like if I'll go to text you something or just like I don't know whatever, I'll put my phone down and I'm like, stop
Right.
it, stop, I can't. She don't feel like talking to me right now. She's probably
But you
busy.
should,
And
but
then
you
the
gotta
thing is
think
like,
about yourself in those moments. You
yeah,
don't
but
worry about what the other person might think.
it's literally my brain is telling me, and this happened to me 4 times this week. My brain will go, don't text her. She's busy having fun. She doesn't want to hear from you because you're like a Debbie Downer right now. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll put my phone down and like I'll sit there for a moment and look around. And then like somebody in my household will need something, like one of my kids or something. And then I'll get busy with that and I'll be like, yeah. Um uh and then all of a sudden like these moments like will flash like 12 years ago on a Tuesday night at 6:15 you stumbled and they laughed at you because they always laugh at you because you're stupid. And I'm like,
No, that's
and
not
then I'll put on,
that's not
and
good.
then what's crazy is like I'll put on like I like television, I like shows. I've been like, so I put all my Korean dramas are on pause right now. Now it's all telenovelas right now.
Hmm.
And then I'll do that, and then like if my dude comes home, I'll run out like, oh, I'm gonna go get some Starbucks, and then I'll try to order and I can't talk, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, and like I can't like get it out, and they're like, it's fine, it's okay, and I'm like, because you're stupid, I can't speak, and I'm like,
You
stop
need
it.
you need friends in your life. You need somebody other than your 3 kids and your husband to speak to. Like it sounds funny, but it's really true. Like you have to be able to have conversations with people, not just you, just anybody. You have to
Mhm,
be able to have
mhm.
conversations with people outside of the people you have a conversation with every day.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
be able to pick up the phone, and even if it's for a second, it's like you're on the way to Starbucks. Oh, let me see what's up with Tamika real quick.
yeah.
Even if it's a 2-minute drive,
But it's like,
a 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute conversation
yeah,
can change your entire mood for the day if it's a good
yeah. It's
conversation.
I know, and but that's like the whole like I guess it's called anxiety. I don't know, or that it's the whole literally like my brain. My brain. I'll hear myself talk to myself, and it's like nobody wants to hear from
Well,
you.
now that you know better, you should do better. So
Yeah,
when your
hope
brain is
so.
talking to you, what you're supposed to do. It's a, a hard journey. The person I am today is not the same person I was 10 years ago. Thank God.
Yeah.
I might be experiencing some of the same things, but when it
Hmm.
comes to getting a hold of my emotions and to be quite honest, not giving a fuck, it's really I've come a long way.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, my friends and family do not pay my bills, and I'm not friends with a lot of people. They don't check on me. They check on me on Facebook, like, "Hey, girl," that kind of thing. I think about like all the times that I was spending with my cousins out in Amityville, and it's like, it's just it was just different,
Yeah.
just different.
It's Yeah, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know how I got like this. I don't know
You grow.
if, but ew, I grow into mental chemical imbalances. Like
Well,
this shit is hard.
you have to. I've told you this back when when you first got married, and I told you when you had your kids that you always have to put yourself first.
Yeah.
I know I've always told you that. I was like,
Yeah.
even when I was like, yo, like I know you when you had the babies, I was like, you still got to go out. I encourage you to bring the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you got to get out of the house. You got to, you know. And so it's good that if your dude comes home, you're like, I got to run to Starbucks, even if it's just Starbucks. But now the next step is to call somebody on the way to Starbucks. Call your brother,
Yeah.
call me, call your aunt who, you know, it can be just like, hey, just checking up on you. You know what that would do for her in turn, what
Yeah.
it does for you?
True. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Eh,
Well, good show. No.
You're funny. You're funny. And you know what? It's like, I've been wearing like sweatpants and leggings. I had to put on jeans the other day. My kids went to the dentist, right? And I put on jeans and they were like tight. But jeans are always tight when you first put them on. But when
Mhm.
I put them on, it was like that again. It was just like, see, short, fat, stupid, and can't speak English. Just what the world needs, another one of you. And then like, I get to I know. I get to the dental office and I'm like trying to like have a conversation. So how you been? How's everything? How was it? Family's good, family's healthy. And like I found myself like rambling and I'm like, oh my God, you're annoying. Be quiet. They don't want to hear you. But I was like, let's calm down. And there's like, ugh. I felt like manic. It was
Right.
weird.
Well, maybe also find. I mean, it's hard right now. I was gonna say find an activity, but everything is like it's in limbo. You can't.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
it's like, what do you do? And then that's the other thing too. I'm not scared of the world, but at the same time, I know the world right now ain't doing too good. So like, what do you do? Do you like go to the beach? Like, fuck it all. You go to the beach and you're like, Corona who?
You can
And
still
then,
go to the beach without just be away from people.
oh yeah, yeah. Apparently I haven't gone to the beach, but apparently according to people on social media, people are being respectful. And then according to other people on social media, everyone's an animal and a savage.
Well,
I
see,
don't know.
we're lucky on Long Island that we have so many small beaches that many people
Yeah.
like to go to. So when you
Yeah.
people that go to the big beaches don't live on Long Island for the most part,
Yeah.
except the
Yeah.
ones out east. But like, I don't know anybody from Long Island that be going to Jones Beach
I
unless they're
know.
going
Isn't
to
that
see a
weird?
show. It's like those
Isn't,
are the city people go there,
isn't that weird?
you know. So I'm
That's
like,
so
well,
funny how like
people be
you
like,
could
what beach you going to? You going to Jones Beach? I'm like, no, I'm going to Huntington Beach.
do you ever like have you ever been outside of New York or outside of New York or far away from Long Island and somebody tries to test you to see if you're a real Long Islander and you're like,
They
well, what
well
beaches do you go?
they test me based on how I say words, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
and
I
it's
mean,
usually a town.
but it's like, but at the same time, it's like whatever. I need
Yeah.
like, but there are people that I know what you're talking about. There's certain people they might not even be Long Island from like New York. They'll be like, you tell them, yeah, I'm from Long Island, and then be like, what part? And it's like, why are you even asking?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, Huntington. Oh, where's that?
Exactly. What do you care? It's
It's
on
on
Long Island.
the border of Suffolk and Nassau. Oh, okay, you're out there. Like really not, but
You
okay.
know what's so funny? I remember I always say I'm from downstate New York, and I don't know if you
I
hate
hate
that,
that.
but okay, maybe okay. And you're always like, nobody ever says that. I'm like,
Nobody
oh,
ever says that. Just, I mean, I could if you lived in like bubblefuck, but because of the way like people, the way New York is, it's like.
but when I say that, we're not in New York. Whenever I say that whenever like we're together and you're like, oh, where are you from? Downstate New
But I
York.
think no, most people know like downstate is not as recognizable as Long Island. That's like saying I'm from downstate and you're just like, bitch, you live in the Bronx. Just say the Bronx. Just say
Yeah, but
Manhattan.
but
Just say
isn't
Manhattan.
but isn't that a self-centered point of view to say like I'm from the Bronx? Like everybody knows what the Bronx is.
Everybody knows what the Bronx is. Everybody knows. Have you ever met anybody that never heard of Manhattan or the Bronx or Long Island?
Yeah.
I have never met anybody. I say I'm from Long Island. They always think the Hamptons, but they know Long Island.
I've
That's
met
what they'll
plenty.
say. Or you say Manhattan, it's like, oh, Times Square. Queens, oh, Eddie Murphy.
First of all, I would not think of Queens Eddie Murphy. I think
No,
of
I was
the
making a joke because of Coming to
Trade Center.
America. Making a joke.
Okay.
It's not. They don't think Eddie Murphy,
He's
but
from
you know.
Roosevelt. He's from Long Island, right?
Yeah, he's from Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, right?
Yep. But no, but what I'm saying is that I could see if you lived in a different part of New York where it's like downstate, like you're kind of like downstate, but you live on Long Island. It's like,
And I don't know if I keep saying it because it bothers you and I think it's funny. I don't know.
It's a new Tamika. I don't give a shit. Let other people think you're crazy. I've been trying to get this paper off this glass for years. My thing is wet, and so I got it all off.
Yay! It was the
Anyway,
adhesive at the
it was a
bottom.
mental health thing, it's driving me crazy.
See, I take out my steamer and I would have had to had steamed it.
Okay.
When I was doing your mom's favors, remember, I had my steamer out and I had them all laid out. I can't be standing adhesive on things. Ah.
Yeah, you did a good job on those. It was so long ago, it seems.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think that's another thing too. Like, I haven't really been crafting too much lately. So that keeps me out of like my own head.
Right.
I got to get back to it. I got to do something.
I hear you.
Right. Have you had a moment of pause and reservation? Because I know, I think I don't want to put my, I don't want to, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to put my personal feelings in my question right now, but I want to give you an example. Right now, there's a lot of legislation that's happening. We are in an election year. We have tremendous movements with civil rights and police reform. Have you had pause and reservation where you to yourself think, and I used to fuck with you, and this is how you feel?
Yes.
That, but has it made it to the point where you're questioning who you are as an individual?
It questions me in the sense that I don't know. It's like, that's kind of, for me, that's kind of a broad idea, a way of thinking, to question myself in that broad of a way, because nobody ever shows their true self to anybody, no matter how. You can know somebody for 40 years. My mother's known me my whole life, and there's things about me that she finds out through this podcast, but she's like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, and so when you say I didn't know that, it's like, wow, I didn't know she was capable of that, or whatever. Like my cousin said to me the other day, she's like, have you ever smoked weed before? I was like, bitch, I smoked weed every day when I was in college. That was my thing. Like, I could go into stories, but I don't know if the statutes of limitations are over yet. But I was like, yes. She's like, oh, okay. She's like, because mommy never did. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, she's not that. I'm not surprised because she didn't drink either.
Yeah.
But so there's things about people that you just don't know. And so when it comes to this climate, you see stuff on social media and you're like, damn, you felt that way? I don't know if I internalize it with me, like, damn, how like an indictment on me and my character and how I judge people. It's more so like, I guess it is then. I don't know. It's like weird. I don't internalize it that way, but I'm like, I internalize it more as like, you fucked up and I'm not fucking with you. You showed me your true colors. But I never really internalized it like Tamika fucked up by choosing you. What about you?
So I've said this to you on a number of occasions in our friendship lifetime. I've said to you, people feel very comfortable around me to say racist things. Not so much anymore. This was in my younger years. I don't know if it's because I was quiet or I had a tendency to speak but not give my opinion. There's a difference, right? And I think people have a tendency to view me and claim me as part of their tribe because of how I present or represent myself or whatever it is. I've always gotten, wow, you look Italian. I didn't think you were Spanish, or you know, like, but like, you know, like when we went to Greece, nah, you're not Puerto Rican. You're from here. No, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that people have a tendency to claim me, so they feel comfortable saying certain things. But it's so funny with this climate, it has erupted into more, and the response I got was, when you act the way you act, you bring anger out of people, and you can't blame them for speaking with hatred. Now, I've been angry and I've lost my temper, but I've never said certain things. And for people to call me an animal, I don't know. I question. So I had a back and forth with someone from high school, of course, on social media. And it was part of our argument was, how can you say that when we were growing up there was no racism? We were all family. That's your experience. That's what you came out of it. But I didn't feel that way. I didn't walk away from that with that. There's that, underlying racism that people don't realize that they have. Or maybe they do and they just don't care. So when I walked away from our conversation, it was I was called the animal and the savage, and because me and my tribe and my people are acting like animals, we're making other people angry that otherwise wouldn't care. And because we're making them angry, we're bringing something out of them that they would not normally say. So me and the high school friend, as we're arguing or having a back and forth, I wouldn't say an argument, he says that when people call us N words and S words, it's because we're acting like the animals and we're making them angry. So we're bringing something out of them that normally would not be there. Right. My argument is, I've been angry. I have flown off the handle plenty of times, but there's nothing in my brain that would spew things so hateful to someone else.
Right.
And I've been angry. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine how you blame me for their hatred and and yelling. Don't know.
I've been angry and I've said some awful things, and I don't regret them. I don't, because I've only said them to certain people, and they were accurate for me. You know what I mean? But when it comes to racist or sexist rhetoric, like, and the things that I've said that were hateful were things that it's not a broad statement. Like you're a fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's direct to you. It's not like people in America are, it's not
people with brown hair. Yeah.
Right. It's like you specifically,
But and that's my argument for people to say, like, for people to say that we're bringing this out of people. I can't imagine how we're bringing this out of people when I've been angry. I've been very, very angry. And I'm never going to turn around and be like, N-word, S-word, you animal, you savage. That's why you're...
Like, did you see the video of the woman, the new Karen in Trader Joe's the other day? They told her, the staff told her to put a mask on. It's in California.
Oh, and she like knocked some dude down?
No, she didn't knock anybody. She was like yelling and screaming, "You're Democrats, I know it, you're liberal." She was going off the handle, and everybody's like, just like put a mask on. She's like, I can't breathe, but she's screaming at the top of her lungs. And, video cut off. And I'm like, you're that angry about a mask? And I start to think, like, the things that people get that angry about. They get that angry about a mask. They get that angry about Black people saying they want equal rights. They get that angry about people saying, we want these kids out of cages. Like, be not trying to take your property. Just treat us right. Should just
but
think about health. Think about the health of others. Think about others. You know, take
but
a
that's
step
the
back.
this I have come to the conclusion, because my brain has to put things in boxes. I've come to the conclusion, the people that don't want to give equal rights and want to keep kids in cages, they know that they're not hardworking. There's nothing special about them, and they can't have a level playing field.
You
They
know
need
what's so funny? You are so right. It's usually the people that's like, well, no, I can't even say that because, well, corporations, they don't say that. They just do it. They make
yeah,
they make, you know, their company bylaws and stuff. They don't say it out loud, but they'll do it. That's the difference.
yeah, yep.
I think about the
But
people that don't have jobs and stuff, and they're the ones that are screaming that. It's crazy.
yep, yep. I'm the lazy one. I'm the one with looking to take away people's rights. And it's so funny because I for a very long time, and I still do, when I feel like the question is not coming from the right place. When people ask me where I'm from, I say American, and they're like, no, but where are you from? And I
Right.
say American, because they have to see. I feel like there's a question that their question is not coming from the right place, and well, everybody's from someplace. So I'm like, I'm
And the
American.
funny thing is, they're they're never satisfied with the answer that you give them. I remember somebody personal in your life that was asking me that. I was just
Mm-hmm.
like the answer was never good. I'm like, I'm telling you. Like,
That's
would you like me to go get my map of my family and show you? It's funny because even this past weekend when I was with my dad and we're going over the ancestry thing, I'm going over my mom's side of the family, and he's like, these people were from Long Island. I was like, I'm trying to tell you. He's like, Connecticut. I was like, I trace these people. It's like, how far am I supposed to trace them back before you see? How far? Obviously, they came on boats. I can't trace it back to Africa. I can't trace it back to kings and
but
queens,
why is it
peasants and jokers.
not good? But why is it not good enough? Why is it not good enough? It's because they're not special enough. They're the ones that are not working hard enough. They're the ones that don't have anything, that they know that once the playing field is even,
Then it's a problem.
they're not going to get anywhere. When they know they're
That
not
right
going to
there
get
is a
anywhere.
meme, homie. Once the playing field is, say that again for the people in the
Once,
back.
once the playing field is even, they know they're not going to get anywhere.
Damn,
That,
that's some food for thought. We need to put up
and
these t-shirts. That'll be the new Yep Yeah Yes t-shirts.
that's why you hate me so much.
Why I
Because you
hate
know,
you? I don't hate you.
not you, them,
Oh,
the Kevins and the Karens, the thems,
but
and you know,
so these conversations that we're having, they lead to an exhaustion
yeah,
because we're having the conversation, we're letting it out, but these are thoughts that sit in our stomach.
yeah,
They sit with us when we go on job interviews, and they make us tired, and they make us depressed, and we start to have these mental illness thing, and it's like nobody wants to hear, especially other minorities don't really want to hear your woe is me. It's like I got the same struggle as you, like, you know.
and that's the thing that kills me too. It's because, and I've said this, but in different collection of words, where it's like, I know what I look like, I know how I present, I know that. So when I say like, when I'm having a struggle of like of not faith, but you know, like a struggle of like, I know I'm not getting that opportunity because of X, Y, and Z. For me to say that to somebody else, it's like, yeah, but you know what? Your last name's not Ortiz or Rodriguez. You had some trickery there. So maybe it was you. Maybe it wasn't anything else. And it's like,
You remember when I told you how I used to send in my resume? You can't do that anymore because now everything is through. You just can't.
yeah,
But I
yep,
used to send it T. Adrian Blair,
yep.
and it's amazing the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had this one interview, and the woman, she's the only person that ever called me, and she's like, "Why? So what does the T stand for? Why did you do that?" I was like, it's sort of like, you know, the whole Michael J. Fox. You like, you know, you just I chose I choose my middle name as my first name. She's like, oh, okay. I didn't get
And
the job.
but even then, see what I mean? Like even then, they're questioning. They looking for
Yeah.
the trick. My name is and I feel like my name is so like you can plug it anywhere. It's very, I don't want to say it's common because it's not a common name, but you can pluck it anywhere.
It's true because my best friend from elementary school, her her daughter's name is Marissa.
Oh, does she spell it the same way?
No, with two S's. But she is like I don't know if she's like Irish or I'm not really sure what her nationality is. But
Yeah.
you know, she's white. But you know, but it's like it can go that name is used by many different ethnicities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like Tamika is not. It's like
No.
I've never met a white Tamika.
That's so funny because I remember at the bank I used to work at, you don't always get to meet everybody because like some like mortgage companies, they have like, I want to say like 40 reps. So, or
Right.
sometimes they're smaller. It all depends. So one of the guys kept saying, so what's Marissa Salas? What does that mean? What is that? Where's that from? And I was like, I'm American. What do you mean? I'm like, no, but like, what is it? Like, what's your background? And I was like, well, American. And no, everybody's from somewhere. And I was like, I'm from America. And it's like, but I'm like, but why is that not good enough? I'm going to Google it. And like, oh, you could be Italian, you could be Greek, you could be Spanish, you could be, well, there's a few things. What do you look like? Damn, bro. Is it that important? Does it really matter? But your rate is 4.275. So you gonna send me this loan or what?
It's annoying on so many levels. And
Yeah.
so when you see all these companies, we talked about labels last week, but when you see all these companies changing the labels and stuff, like you need to change the boardroom, change the perception.
I have a question for you as we're talking about that. You see all these voice actors now stepping away from their roles.
Right.
Because they feel like thank you, but you're still not listening. Like in my mind.
This is the thing. I understand them stepping away from the role
Mm-hmm.
only because of the fact that it prevents them from getting the backlash. Because let's be real, we're not going to be mad at the casting directors.
But see, now here's my question. So they're doing it to walk away from the heat.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's where the problem lies, I think.
But
I understand why they're doing it. To avoid the heat. Because at the end of the day, everybody goes after the face and not the people behind the face.
Right.
So it's like, I don't want the heat. I'm stepping away from the character. But the thing that shocked me the most was how many white people was voicing all these black characters. I'm like, really? I was just like, really? Like, what took me out was Cleveland.
Right?
I'm like,
right. And what's crazy to me is like, do you remember that clip from a Denzel Washington a media circuit when he was talking about it's not color, it's culture?
I don't remember, but go ahead.
So basically the synopsis, I can't remember verbatim, but he was talking about it's not culture, it's not color, it's culture. You know, and he made the argument Martin Scorsese and oh my God, Schindler's List.
Steven Spielberg.
All right. Steven Spielberg could have directed Godfather. Could have did a great job, but would he have gotten the essence of culture in it? So it's not color, it's culture. So when I see these cartoons, yeah. So when I see these characters playing Anglo-Americans playing these characters, I wonder to myself, are you doing a cartoonish, no pun intended, cartoonish depiction of the culture?
Right. That's what. And after they started leaving their jobs and people were like calling them out on it, good or bad, it started me thinking, it's like, this guy was playing Cleveland, and it was like, this is how he made a black man. Like, it's like And
Hold up a
it's a
second.
different type of parodying, or however you say that word. You know,
Yeah, and
it's a different way of doing. Like, it's all cartoon, but it's like, this is how they depict Black people.
and then it
Uh-huh.
got me and then it got me thinking of like, so Hispanics, Latin Americans, there's such a broad spectrum. I feel like it's such a unique subculture because like some of us don't identify as Black, some of us identify as Black. You know, there's Hispanic, there's Afro Latino, there's layers to this shit, right? And I think to myself, when we're talking about the Latin American, the Latino, Hispanic struggle, it's so hard to have a narrative because we're falling into so many different categories amongst ourselves. And I think about like the reason I brought that up before was somebody was trying to make a point of like reverse racism. I got into this whole diatribe because like, why do these people feel this way? I need to look into this. And then this talk about depression really hit hard. They were saying, why is it okay for the Wayans brothers to do white chicks? You know, not saying that, you know, blackface is cool and everything, but it's okay to do it the other way. And then somebody made a point to say, yeah, but the Wayans brothers also do Manolo and Papi. Like they do like these two Hispanic characters. And I was thinking to myself, hold on a second. Would I be okay with that?
Right.
Was I okay with that before when it was in living color? Like, I keep thinking to myself, I don't know how I would feel. Because again, you're doing a cartoonist representation of a culture. I don't know. I don't know.
And is
But then,
it okay if it's a person, if it's an actual, like Jimmy Kimmel got all this flack for all of the quote unquote blackface that he did in his past, but he was doing actual people,
well,
actual
yeah,
living, breathing people.
yes. So I thought about this. No, it's not okay. And I'm going to tell you why. Remember Homegirl, Dancing with the Stars girl, when she did Crazy Eyes?
Right.
We would have known who the fuck you was talking about. You didn't have to do the blackface.
But that wasn't a real person.
But she's representing somebody who's Black.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, my point is,
So it's okay. So if I want to be Tina Turner for Halloween, I can do
that's what I'm
blackface.
saying. Is I'm not saying whether it's good or not. I'm just saying people are pointing out, is it wrong to put Jimmy Kimmel in that box because he imitated Oprah and I think Shaq, or I can't remember who exactly, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or whatever. And they're living, breathing people. But remember the flack that Luann de Lesseps from Housewives of New York got when she put bronzer on her face to be Diana Ross?
I
She got
have a
so
problem
much
with
black. I mean, so much backlash. She got so much
Blacklash.
backlash, and I don't know. I just like She could have did it without any bronzer, and we would have known who she was doing.
That's what I'm saying. It's still not okay.
Right.
I feel like Jimmy Kimmel should have known better. It's not
And
okay.
that goes for every ethnicity. I think the only group that gets it nearly as bad as Black people are Asian people. Like they
Oh,
get it. They might actually get it worse these days. You
yeah.
know, to a whole nother level where it's like didn't Scarlett Johansson like do a movie, or was going to do a movie where she's playing it?
She did. She did do it.
So it's like, okay, you know. So
She
it's,
did do it. Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
look at back in, back in the day, and you look at movies. One of the worst depictions was from the Breakfast at Tiffany's.
At Tiffany's. But Barefoot in the Park also.
I never saw that. What is that one?
Oh my gosh, there's an actor. He's a very famous actor. I can't remember his name, but it was with Jane Fonda, where he was playing Asian American, and it like he had chiclets right here, and he was like,
Oh.
it was it. Oh my word! I remember watching. I'm like, I'm like 7, because I like.
But at the same time, I also don't. Like my mother never shied me away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is the real world. Like my mother had never had a conversation like some parents are having these days. Like when you're driving, make sure you pay. None of that kind of stuff. But she did have those she didn't shy me away. Like we watch Roots. You know,
Yeah.
you can read Malcolm X. I take her book and read Malcolm X and the book Roots. Like, and this is when I'm like, I didn't read Malcolm X when I was 8, but I'm saying watch Roots when I was like 8. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
remember elementary school watching Eyes on the Prize. Like, that's elementary school. You know, it's a
Yeah.
documentary. It was like, and I was excited every year because they showed it every year. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the evolution of Black people. You know, and
Yeah.
even that's flawed. And so I don't know what I was saying. I don't. What the hell did we get on this topic for?
Mental health. Honestly, because these
All
these
that stuff
things have
is
a
just.
way of these things have a way of chipping your confidence down. I did we talk about it last week? I know I had my notes about it last week where they were doing a television research how Hispanic and Black children and girls are 35% lower in confidence based on television depictions
No,
as
you
opposed to Anglo-American. And maybe I started talking about it. Based
why do you
in
call them Anglo-American? You always said that, but I just, I never really thought to ask you. I always thought it was funny, like you were trying to be funny, but you be wrong
no,
with that.
but what am I supposed to call them?
White, Caucasian, because you don't say like everybody else gets their like cut their color or their like Asian.
Oh, you know why? I think I say Anglo-American is because I'm talking about a certain part of the world. Because, like, let's say, like, look at my mom. Somebody might look at her and say, "Oh, she's a white girl," but she ain't.
But she's
That's
not
not how.
Caucasian either. So, but
But
why say Anglo instead of Caucasian? I don't know. I just
I
want.
don't
It's
know.
not a bad thing. I was just wondering. I've never heard. I shouldn't say I've never heard. Whenever, like, you're one of the few people that I ever hear say it, but most people that say it like these Anglos. Like, we have a mutual friend who likes them Anglos. He's being funny about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
I don't
you're
know.
not really being. In the beginning, I felt like you was being funny. Now I'm like, she rolling with the Anglo.
No, I don't know.
What do you describe? What do you consider yourself?
Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Latina.
Well, you can if you had to pick one. Can't box me in.
I just, I think about this constantly because, so I know I had told you this story a long time ago. Like, you know, I can't remember if it was first grade, second grade, kindergarten. I have no idea, but it was along those lines. And we're at the lunch table, PS7 in Riverdale, in the Bronx. And they're like talking about like, what are you? What are you? And everybody's like popping off what they are. And I was like, they're like, what are you? And I was like, I have no idea. Like literally no idea. I don't know what that is. I never heard that before. That's just not a narrative that my parents ever like spoke about. So I'm going home. I go home. Mom's cooking dinner. I was like, Mom, or Ma. I don't think I ever said Mom. Ma, what are we? Like people at lunch today were talking about and they're X, Y, and Z. And she's like, oh, well, let's see. So you Puerto Rican. And I was like, I'm Puerto Rican. And she's like, yeah. Nobody said Puerto Rican. And I remember saying, I'm like, I don't want to be Puerto Rican. I'm the only Puerto Rican there. Then I don't want to be Puerto Rican. She's like, you is what you is, bitch. Like, now go fucking clean your room, right? And I remember like that moment sits with me for the rest of my life. Because I remember thinking like, Puerto Rican, why does it matter? Why were they talking about that? And like, I don't remember if I went to school the next day and talked about it. I just don't ever remember. And I keep thinking to myself, like, I know at some points people have said to me, like, whenever they ask me what I am, I would say, you would never know what I was. I would always say American because I always felt like that question came loaded. So I would never answer. And I remember thinking before I found out I was Puerto Rican, like, everybody's grandparents speak Spanish or broken English. Everybody eats rice and beans. Like, I have no idea. Like, I just thought that was the world. That's the way the world is, and it is what it is. And it sits with me because I remember thinking like being alone, feeling alone. Little fuck did I knew.
You had to
Like,
roll. I yeah, I feel you. I mean, when I get asked, like, what are you? I always say American, but it's obvious that I don't have to say I'm black because it's
Hmm.
obvious I'm black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I always
Yeah.
wonder with you, not always, but sometimes I wonder when you're like, I'm an American, why not just say I'm Puerto Rican? Because
Because I
that's
feel
not
like,
always obvious.
yeah, no, it's not, and it's not, and I always feel like, because here's the thing though,
Or just say
whenever,
Hispanic, and then
whenever, sorry,
be like, and or just say Hispanic, and they're like, which part? America. Then you follow up with American.
I don't know. I remember in my younger years. I will say this. I said this before. Growing up in the Bronx, there was like every background you can think of. Then I grew up in Puerto Rico for a time, and you're either Puerto Rican or American, even though they're American. But what they meant by that was just like everybody that's not born in Puerto Rico. Everybody else is American, right? And then when I went to Long Island, holy effing racist. I never, there was words that I never heard before. Like, why would
The
you
most
call
racist
somebody?
place ever. So
I
racist.
never, I never in my life experienced such loathing for someone else just for existing. And I remember when I would say to, like, when people would be like, "Oh, you don't look Puerto Rican," and I'm like, "Oh, you don't act Puerto Rican. You don't sound Puerto Rican." And I'm like, "Wow, what does that mean?"
Right.
And then it came, and then that's when it was just like, "You're asking me something because you want to make sure I'm one of you.
Right.
You can't take me for who I am." And then once you find out what I am, it almost felt like there was like a shift, like, "Oh, but you're not one of
They're
those."
gonna treat you a certain way based on what they perceive you to be.
Or it was like, "Oh yeah, she's the Puerto Rican one, but don't worry, she's not one of those." And it's
Right.
like, oh. So then it became like, you know what, go fuck yourself, and how you feel, you're gonna have to deal with your own feelings. You're not getting an answer. The answer is I'm American. Oh, but we're all American. No, we're not. No, we're
This
not.
does come to your psyche when you start when you have to have these conversations with people, and being on Long Island, like I love it here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is where I want to. This is where I want to live. This is where I choose to be. At the
Yeah.
same time, it's very frustrating, especially when you tell people that Long Island is racist, and they're like, no, it's not. Like very dismissive of you, instead of saying, what makes you think that? What is your experience? Because my experience isn't that.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, like that. And I find that to be the human nature. Most people don't want to know about your experience. And so
And
that's why
or
this whole Black Lives movement is like shocking, because there's so many people that are like, I'm going to take the time to understand. And it's like, what?
yeah.
What the fuck? What are you talking about? Like all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I need a drink. I don't know. The world is ending. Revelation.
Or like whenever I talk about like, ooh, whenever I talk about like my my human experience, it's like, yeah, but you don't get that. I'm like, what do you mean I don't get that? Yeah, but I don't look at you that way. Nobody thinks of you as like some Puerto Rican.
You know, I get that same
That's on
stuff.
you.
It's like
That's on
you're a
you.
different kind of black. You're not like, the other.
You're
They
not
don't
like one of
say that, but the words they choose, like,
oh,
like, no, no. Like I've had conversations with people where they talk about certain neighborhoods on Long Island. It's like, well, no, no, like, it's just different. It's like, well, what does that mean? What are you trying to
yeah.
say? Because we all know what type of people live there. So you're obviously making a whole those people are gangbangers, they're low lives, they're this, that, and the other, or, you know, they don't have jobs. So, and then, then they tell you where that area is, and you're like,
Hmm. Hmm.
the same shit. They got the same type of people in Shirley, right? Like, and they ain't got no teeth
Okay.
from the mess. But I digress.
But now, no, it's that's a health issue.
Yeah,
They can't say no.
right.
That's. Oh my Lord, homie.
Out to
I
Nancy Reagan.
I want to switch over to something more depressing.
Okay, great.
To
Uh,
so I want to talk about these, like, in light of sexual assault allegations.
okay,
Yay!
great.
So okay. So I'll talk about the only three that pop into my mind at the moment. Oh, four people that pop into my mind at the moment, and it was compounded by another show that I'm watching. So there's Justin Bieber, who's counter suing, Ron Jeremy, who was accused of raping 3 women and assaulting a 4th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
A comedian, Chris D'Elia, who is accused of sexual assault and grooming underage girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a singer, Billie Eilish, where
I didn't hear this one.
well, apparently she posted on one of her social media platforms, DM me if I'm following your abuser. And she unfollowed everybody. She deleted that and unfollowed everybody. So everybody's like, hold up, what is she trying to say here? So I'm watching this show on HBO called I May Destroy You. And the idea of sexual assault came up. And I was like, holy crap. And I was thinking to myself, you and I grew up in a very weird time as far as like the clubbing and going out and things like that. And I can't even imagine what our parents went through, because them disco years was wild. I can't imagine how someone's chemicals can say, like, there's there's obviously there's layers. I said that before. Why do I keep saying that? It's from a song. There's layers to this shit, right? There's violent, so everybody's like, oh, you're an animal. But then there's that predator, that alleged Chris D'Elia predator, where it's prepping you.
Right.
And then you walk away feeling like, but I did it. I did it. I said, okay. And it's like, oh, I think about Ron Jeremy, and you're like, ooh.
Like, he's one, when it came out, I was like, well, yeah, okay.
Right?
It's weird.
Like, okay.
There's certain ones you're like, no way. And then there's certain, like Bill Cosby's like, no way. And then you're like, damn, Bill.
I know.
Ron Jeremy, I was like, I see that.
I can see that. That comedian Chris D'Elia, I don't really know him. I looked at some of the stuff and I was like,
but see, you brought up Justin Bieber, and I gotta applaud this guy because I believe him.
So do I.
You're gonna sue the people. Sue him. Sue him. If you sue them, take them to court.
Your boy brought receipts. He brought in like, nope, this is where I was. As you can see, X, Y, and Z. He was like,
but the whole lawsuit thing, to me was like, because you're willing to go to a court of law to prove your innocence. I gotta look at like, okay, you might be like, I'm looking at Russell Simmons. I'm like, bro, you moved to Bali.
Yeah.
And he's getting all these companies are getting blowback because they keep having him on the show during quarantine. And I'm like, damn, Russ. But he's like one of those, he's like a Ron Jeremy thing where I'm like, he was always around model. Like, I'm not like,
yeah.
But it was the same thing too. It's like, I can't imagine him assaulting a woman, but I can imagine him having sex and having orgies and pills, and I could see all that.
Yeah. Me too. And that's what brought, so that show that I'm watching, it's called I May Destroy You. I haven't gotten to certain parts of it, but there's where we're alluding to there was like, and this is what I'm saying, like, do you remember, so no, you didn't see the show. Sorry, never mind. Let me set it up. With the Russell Simmons, I see more like, no, there might not have been consent. What's that other comedian, Aziz Ansari, where he walked away from it thinking like, I didn't commit a crime, I didn't assault her. Well, hold on a second. She walked away.
The Indian man?
Yeah, the comedian.
Manoj.
No, it's Aziz Ansari.
Huh?
Hassan Minhaj is
Hassan Minhaj. Oh, I thought you were talking about him, where the girl was like, she felt assaulted and they had sex, and he was like,
I thought that was Aziz Ansari.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Oh, so yes. So that's what I mean.
My bad. I had the wrong. Sorry.
So that's why
Okay.
that's where I feel like that Russell Simmons, I feel like he's in that territory where like maybe no consent, but maybe she walked away or he, I don't know. They walked away from it feeling like, hold on a second. I remember us, like I think about like the old clubbing days where like some dude would be like rubbing up on you, grabbing you in the middle of a dance floor. And it's like, that's assault.
You know what the problem too is that our laws do not make it clear. Because, for example, I could be having sex with somebody, and on Monday through Thursday, and then the weekend comes like, no, I don't want to have it, and they have sex with you, and that's rape. But they
Yeah.
might not see it that way. That doesn't make it right. But the
Yep.
laws need to be clear with that,
I
and everybody
know.
needs to be on the same page. And so it makes like some of the women that Russell has been accused of sexually assaulting, he had previous sexual consenting relationships with.
Right.
And so it's like a murky, it just sucks. No means no. But did no
But
mean
what if
no in the 80s and 70s?
But that's the whole thing. What if there was no? What if there was no, it was just implied consent? Or what if it, because, I remember being like, you think about being on a club and some dude grabs your butt and all of a sudden, like, you turn around and his hand is on your chichi and you're like,
Yeah, and you can't. I've had sex with guys that I didn't want to have sex with.
now is that assault? Was there a crime committed?
And I've said no, but it's like then you just like just give in. You're just like fine. It's like,
That's
but I didn't
that's
see it.
good.
It's like I've never looked at it as rape. You know what I mean? I know.
Oh.
It's just, and I don't have like this emotional thing about it. I'm just like whatever. Just get this
But
nasty shit.
now,
You're like disgusting. Just get
oh
with
my
it. I
gosh.
know I'm making it seem like it's no big thing. I know.
No, that's an issue. But see, and that's the thing. Does that go with the climate of the time in our life?
Yes,
Because
because that's what I feel like. I'm like drinking,
because
and no matter how I'm dressed or how much I've drunk or drank or whatever, that's still not a reason to have sex with me. That should be a reason not to have sex with me. Oh, she's fucked up. Let me just, toss her to the,
hurry up.
make sure she get home okay, whatever. But I don't know. I just never looked at it as rape. And then, it becomes clearer and clearer as the years go by, and as the Me Too movement becomes, they start saying what they consider rape, and you're like,
Hold on a second.
right. But
Yeah.
I still don't feel like it was rape for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's like, and I don't know that it would be considered rape in a court of law. Like my drink wasn't spiked.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. That's where it's like
Went home with the mofo.
there's, because there was no implied consent or
It's
I
just
can't,
it's
what's
just
the word in
okay.
English? Not consent, but like there was nothing to say. There was no pushback. There was no like no. There was no verbal or physical
Right. I didn't bite the,
barrier.
like if you say no and don't keep saying it, if you say no one time and they're like, come on, baby, come on,
Come
and
on,
then you
come
just
on.
like, all right, fine. That's rape?
Or there's nothing where you just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You're in your head and it's like a
I don't know.
there was no consent. I don't know.
You're
That's
supposed
the
to
thing.
end these yep, yeah, yes segments on a light note. Now you can have me go crawl up in the bed, like in a fetal position.
Welcome to my anxiety and depression.
That's not a good place to be.
Welcome. Party up too now.
Yeah, that's not a good place to be.
Oh, so imagine in my head the things that don't come out of my mouth. Forget it.
Anyway,
Um, on a positive note,
thank you.
we have garnered greater opportunity for minorities in America and the job force.
Who's we?
We, the people.
Where is this at?
Well, all these people stepping away from these acting roles, like entertainment roles.
It
And
was
did you
three
see?
people.
well, there's more than that. I have a question for you. Did you see that new executive order that was signed this week for the job force, where it's more skills based and not education based when it came to private public sector jobs?
No. Where is that signed?
The executive order was signed, I think it was Thursday.
By who? Like as a state executive? Or I mean, the
No,
president is signing it.
yeah, Donald Trump and Ivanka Trump. They're it's the I'm gonna Google it quick. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't pay attention to him. I'm just ready for him to leave. Okay.
I feel
Not to mention this shit with the military. You see the shit that just came out with Russia?
no. What happened?
Meanwhile, there's a bounty. Russia put bounties on American troops in Afghanistan, and Trump knew about this.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm gonna be unable to end today on a light note. I just.
Meanwhile, Benghazi.
So the world is on fire.
But hey,
but you're normal, so please, thank you. I love that shirt. I still have that shirt. I wear it so much that I messed up the stitching. So now, like, instead of like the sides going straight down my side, it goes like that.
Shout out to BMG. Where I got
what? Do you remember what show that was?
No, it's a singer. I think her name is Charlotte Martin.
Oh wow!
She's her.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Heather Headley. I feel like her, Deborah Cox, like y'all should have been.
Deborah Cox. I don't know.
Very underrated artist. Heather Headley is amazing. She's such a good singer.
I was not a fan of hers.
Oh, I love her. But she's still on Broadway, so
no, she's
that's
not.
good.
Broadway is shut down.
Oh, well, shut it down. Are you going to watch Hamilton on Disney Plus? It comes out the 3rd. I'll share passwords, girl.
Oh, okay.
Well, Hamilton will be on, but there's 3 F words or 2 F words that they had to get rid of.
So that's stupid.
Well, to make it PG-13, something like that, for ratings, they had to get rid of 2 F words. So I don't know if they bleeped it out or dubbed it over it. Lin-Manuel Miranda spoke about it on his social media, how all the other F words, they chose 2 of them. So they felt like those were the 2 that didn't have to be there. But at least we'll be able to see the show.
Can't wait. You gonna have me come over?
Yeah, I'll cook.
Social distance from you and your kids.
Oh, good luck.
I don't know.
My kids don't know how to do that.
They go on social distance from me because I'll be like,
and then they'll be grabbing your hands.
No, they don't do that. They used to do that. Now they're too grown, too cool for school. Anyway.
Well, homie.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah.
I won't even ask. I'm just going to say you catch us at Yep Yeah Yes 18 on Instagram and Twitter, the Yep Yeah Yes podcast on Facebook, any streaming device where you have a platform to stream podcasts. All you have to do is go to the Yep Yeah Yes podcast. Stay strong, people.
And check us out on Instagram Live with a recap. It'll be much lighter.
Hopefully.
All right, y'all.
Bye.